Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about how are YieldMax underlying stocks performing, what are they doing, and what's considered to be a buy or a sell right now. Let's get it. So the first one that we're going to be going over is Coinbase. Coney is, well, aside from Tesla, is pretty much everybody's favorite at this point. The dividends are absolutely astronomical, crazy, crazy payouts. Even I still can't even believe just how insanely high those yields are. So, anyways, quick look at the chart on Coney. I told you guys before that the RSI was massively overbought. When it gets like really extended with the shade of green here, pretty good signal that there is a reversal coming. That's exactly what we saw. And again, you have this kind of, if I could zoom out here a little bit, you have this red doji candle. That's a very clear, like you get this big green candle, then you get like a close at the green candle, but it's red. That's a pretty clear indication in trading that we're about to get a sell off. And it made perfect sense because it was sitting right at the top, the tippy top of this resistance zone. So it played out textbook perfect for the bears to come in and short this thing. And that's exactly what they did. And they made bank on the way down. Believe it or not, guys, there is people that are both longing and shorting these stocks. Keep that in mind when we're talking about the YieldMax funds. The underlyings get longed and shorted all day long. Not just the actual stock, but the options on the stocks as well. So with that being said, we're sitting in between the EMAs. Support is between 117 to 138-ish. The macro support is down here between 114 to 104. I think that we could potentially bounce somewhere off of this blue EMA at 117, maybe all the way down at 104, and then pop straight back up into resistance. It may not be immediate, but I think this is where the base will be, somewhere between this zone and this EMA here. So now we'll go over to AAPL. We are sitting on support currently, but we are below the EMAs. Do take note of that. We also had this gap down here after getting rejected off of this, what looks to be potentially a double top on Apple. We also have a bearish cross on both MACD and the RSI. But the earnings for Apple is right around the corner, as you guys can see here. It looks like February 1st, so roughly about 2 weeks away. Once earnings kicks in, basically we could bob around on the support zone a little bit. Once earning kicks in, if it comes in really good, just snap straight up, just like we see in these previous earnings here. Well, this one actually sold off, so that's not good. But this earnings, you guys can see there was a humongous, absolutely ridiculous run up, and also this one here. So if earnings and forward guidance comes out good, we could basically push straight back up into resistance here. So the support is going to be somewhere between 171 to 182. Amazon's actually looking really good. I think we can go ahead and flip this into a support zone now. I would say that Amazon is actually really bullish. We're in the bull zone on both indicators here, although we did just come off of resistance here. Something to keep in mind is we do have kind of somewhat of a bearish divergence going on here between the RSI and the price. Again, price is moving up, RSI is moving down. When two indicators or two sets of data in trading are moving away from each other, that's known as a divergence. What that typically means is that if the trend is bullish and there is a bearish divergence, there's a chance that the trend could turn bearish and vice versa. When I get the opportunity to point out a bullish divergence to you guys, I will show you what that looks like in real time at some point in the future. So I would say support is going to be at these EMAs, not necessarily at the bottom of the zone here, because again, this trend is very bullish. So probably somewhere between 142 to 148. I think realistically on Amazon, we're heading up to this resistance before anything else. So the resistance is going to be between 170 to 189. Just my opinion, but I would say this is very bullish for AMZ. Google, similar story. You guys can see that we literally just had a bullish cross on the MACD here. A lot of people have not been very bullish on GUI. We have. One of the main reasons is because GUI and Google have kind of underperformed, so to speak. in comparison to the other big Magnificent Seven companies. Like compared to Nvidia, this thing has done basically nothing. But you guys can see we're at resistance, but we are basically consistently trending up here. So the support is somewhere between 135 to 139. I would say we're probably going to squeeze up into the top of this resistance at roughly about 152. The bottom here is at current price, which is roughly about 145 a share. So Disney's the next one. Based on this chart pattern alone, I would say that we are extremely bullish on Disney. I know it sounds crazy after the drama between Elon and Bob Iger and all that, and then Disney cutting their actual dividend a couple of years ago. It's crazy to say that we're bullish on Disney, but they did just re-implement their dividend. If you guys can go look for yourselves with the ticker symbol DIS, just go to the Nasdaq.com. You'll be able to see it up there. But you guys can see that we broke this multi-year downtrend, and we are now currently bouncing off of support. So the DSO ETF could be a good one to look at. I mean, this is a long ways up to resistance. It's up here between 113 to 120, and the support, which is between 78 to 88. I mean, we pretty much bounced off of that, and now we're retesting support and potentially looking to move higher here. So probably something like you can see this thing's kind of like almost getting rejected off a downtrend here. Once we get a breakout of this, this could even considered to be a bull flag, kind of like a bullish flag pattern. Once we get a breakout of this, we'll be heading higher from there. Meta's very, very bullish, but again, keep in mind we are potentially at a double top here. But we also do have a golden cross on the MACD, as you guys can see here. It's been quite a while since we've had one. The last cross we had was bearish, basically in summer of last year. We're in overbought territory on the RSI, and there is a potential for a double top here. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. But as of right now, the trend is bullish. So support is pretty much somewhere between 327 to about 350. Resistance is also between roughly about 350 to 385. Now, Microsoft, I would definitely say Microsoft is very bullish. Do keep in mind, however, that we are overbought on the RSI. Making new all-time highs here, which is pretty amazing. You can see this massive candle here just absolutely ripped to the moon. So pretty much the only thing I have to give you guys here is support, which ranges somewhere between 350 to 370. If we do not get in that box, then you're looking at 360 to 375. I would say Microsoft could be pretty much heading up from here and maybe have a retest. So potentially in terms of price on MSFO, could be seeing a lot of upside on that. Netflix, it looks pretty bullish. RSI is potentially about to have a death cross here. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But we are bullish on the RSIs. We're not even close to this support zone, so we're not going to talk about that. But the RSIs are basically between 450 and 475, and your resistance is all the way up here at 565 to roughly about $700. So could be a long ways up for Netflix and Netflix if you guys want passive income and potentially price appreciation. Assuming this thing continues to go up, Netflix could be a really good buy. Nvidia has kind of really been outperforming here. You guys can see that we have this ascending triangle pattern kind of drawn out here, and we basically just smashed straight through it. That's typical technical trading for you right there. But pretty much the only thing we're looking for here is support. So 468 to 502, we can flip this to support because it's pretty much what it is now. And we also have a golden cross here on the MACD too, so that's very, very good for Nvidia. You can see that it's literally just sitting at all-time highs. It's just absolutely destroying, completely destroying any resistance. Tesla, we were talking about this on X before, but we were in this triangle pattern. Unfortunately, we did break out of this, so that's not great, honestly. We have a death cross on the RSIs here, so that's also not great. And a death cross on the MACD, that's also not great. But something I want to point in mind to you guys is this support zone you can see right here has been tested many, many times over the years. Back here, 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 and here, where we sit right now. So I'm pretty confident this support's going to hold, and it is between 187 to 222. If there's any more updates on Tesla in the future, we will definitely we'll be the first to let you know. So Square just kind of bouncing around in between this range, $40 to 55, and then 82 to 89 at resistance. But as you guys can see, based on the overall price action, we are a long ways away from previous all-time highs. That's roughly about a 5x from the current price, which is crazy for a stock. But again, remember that Block Inc. or Square, the CEO of the company, does have a lot of Bitcoins. So the bull run's coming up this year is something to think about in terms of buying Squee and or Square if you want to buy the actual stock itself. But I mean, the RSI could be having a death cross here. We'll just have to wait and see. But the other two indicators are still technically bullish, and the RSI is sitting between 62 to 67 bucks. ExxonMobil looking pretty bearish. Not really surprising because oil's kind of been getting dumped on. So 84 to 96 is the support zone. 114 to 122 is resistance. I would say it could be a good dip buying opportunity on oil or on ExxonMobil or Zomo, but it's a little early to say, to be honest. That's kind of the reason why we've been a little bit hands off on Zomo at this point. JPM, we have overbought here on the RSI. Everything else looks pretty bullish as far as I'm concerned. One thing that is concerning is we do have this double top, so keep that in mind. With that being said, we are definitely not going to buy any JPMO at this time because JP Morgan for that matter, because it looks like it might be about ready to sell off. And it is also in this resistance zone, so something to keep in mind. But support sits between 157 to 164. Resistance 167 to 174. So making our way down the list here, this is the ARK Innovation Fund. Again, ranging very similar to Square. Keep in mind the previous all-time high for ARKK is massive to the upside. You're talking almost a 4x at this point, or at least a 3x. Again, ARK does have exposure to crypto and Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. So the bull run's coming up. Might be something to think about with ARK. But we got rejected off of this zone again. But again, we broke this downtrend. So I would say overall, we are bullish. The support is between 45 to 47. Resistance between 49 to 54. AMD, this is a very interesting one. This is kind of a new one for us. We could be potentially hitting a potential double top zone here, but the semiconductors and the AI companies like AMD and NVIDIA are just absolutely moonshotting. I mean, it's the AI narrative. Everybody's bullish on AI. We're not going to try to fight it. It's a potential macro trend, okay? It's like the fourth industrial revolution. It's going to change the world, whether people like it or not. So we're just going to be bullish and, just ride the wave. But from my perspective, it looks very, very bullish. We have two golden crosses here. Kind of a little overbought, but the shade of green isn't popping up yet. This previous resistance has now turned to support, and we are still pushing into the support box. So I'll tell you guys this, it looks bullish from my perspective. If we see something bearish in the coming weeks, I'll let you know. But support is between 125 to 133, and resistance is between 157 to 166. So PayPal, still looking a little bit bearish, still haven't broken this downtrend line, and we also got rejected basically right out of this big resistance zone we have here that you guys can see we've been trending down in. I guess the only saving grace here is maybe potentially this could be like a falling wedge, which is bullish, but we'll just have to wait and see. So support is between 29 to 46. Resistance between 60 to 83. I would say we're probably going to go with bearish on this one because I mean the way that this is trading down is just not really giving us too much confidence in PayPal at this point. Moderna's looking pretty good though. Golden Cross on both, although we're not in the bull territory yet. It broke this downtrend line, so that's also good. We are retesting the EMAs and support. As you guys can see, if I zoom in real close here, we're about to get a golden cross on the EMAs. And we just had a bounce off of that, so that's also good. So support is between 62 and 95, and resistance between 180 to 217. So just to get back up to this resistance zone is potentially a 2x. Okay. And if we were to get back to all-time highs, you're talking roughly about a 5x on this stock. Just imagine what that could do to Murni. Absolutely massive. So something to keep in mind. Anyways, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed the content. If you found any value in this information in this video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see y'all later. Peace.